Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 28th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this fertility and creation card and this initiation card. So, Gemini, it is a very good week for fertility, literally and figuratively. So if you're trying to get pregnant, there you go. But also I think that a lot of you, could be kind of like creating new ideas that are very fertile. I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know, there's something about that Uranus and Gemini that really screams to me like success for you if you take advantage of it, right? It's not gonna like magically happen, but and it's gonna come. You can't make this stuff up. You have this awakening genius card, so I've been calling you a genius for weeks now because I think that this Uranus and Gemini is kind of bringing out these genius level ideas inside of you, and so I would be doing whatever you can to like work on your ideas, put your ideas out into the world, and all that other stuff. You have that sarcophagus, which says initiation, and so it's kind of funny because it's like you are being initiated into something. This could be like the next level of your life. Now, in the tarot, the card of initiation is the Hierophant, right? So, he has 3 stages on his crown, which represent apprenticeship, initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery, like the 3 stages of mastery. And so that's kind of popping into my head, even though you don't have the Hierophant here. I feel that some of you could be like mastering a craft, or it's kind of like you're getting to that mastery level of something, especially for those of you that have been, working on something or towards something for many years. In your first row here for your current general energies, you have the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. The Nine of Wands is the card of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's my card of experimentation, which I'm definitely a big fan of for you, Gemini. I think that you experimenting will lead to a lot of success in your life. You trying new things, tasting all the flavors of the world, right? And having new experiences, like everything. I would be doing all of that. The other thing is that, this is the card of the Wounded Warrior. But what's really funny is we go down to the Judgment card to the Nine of Cups, and then we have the Three of Cups in this last row, and we have the Empress here. It's almost like, it's like sometimes I think people can be wounded in life, in, any area of life, and it's like they get a chip on their shoulder, but then there are like other people who like allow those things that hurt them to make them better. And I feel like you're doing that, Gemini. It's like something, it's almost like this is kind of a side message to the reading, right? But it's like saying to me, you have allowed something to make you better. I'm wondering if you're like finally seeing the results of that, and it could be anything. It's like maybe you got fired, maybe someone hurt you, maybe something happened to you, and it's almost like you're finally seeing the results of that. It's like you're seeing, I don't know, maybe you're attracting something really good into your life or whatever, but it's definitely like popping into my head. You have the Ace of Cups. Could be love, but I wouldn't really call this a love reading. I think you will love this reading. I think you will love what's going to come from this reading. I think you will love what this Ace of Cups does for you or is for you, but, I think that it's talking about really getting into the flow. The Ace of Cups can easily reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. So, the Ace of Cups is about doing things that cause like self-fulfillment or that cause fulfillment in your life. And if you don't have things that make you happy, then the Ace of Cups is about finding things that can make you happy or finding things that make you feel fulfilled. So I would be on the lookout for, things that make you happy, basically, with this card. But this could definitely be an offer or love offer that's coming in for you if you are looking for love. Next, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, like a knight in shining armor. I mean, not a knight in shining armor, but it is like a knight charging into your life. Normally, the Knight of Swords is about being too hasty and making a decision too quickly. That is popping into my head for you as like a little, not really a warning, but just like, don't be afraid of taking a second look at things this week. Anything that enters into your life. I feel like it's saying like, don't be too quick to judge. It's funny, you have the Judgment card here, and then we go up Judgment to the Hermit. He's got the light. It's almost like you need to shine a light on things. I think this is very general as well. I think that, there could be like opportunities. There could be people who want to talk to you. Like all sorts of things. And I don't think this is saying like, oh, you have to make a decision right now. But I do feel like it's saying like, don't just dismiss things this week. Like really especially in areas of your life that are like important to you, I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying it would be a good idea to like maybe look deeper into things that kind of like come into your life. Opportunities, could be anything, and then make your decision, right? It doesn't say you have to say yes or no to anything. It just says like do your research. With the Nine of Wands, I mean, I don't know. And you have the Hangman. Everybody's going to get the Hangman for the next, 8 years. Probably longer. Probably till... Yeah, I mean, 8 years. That sounds about right. So, yeah, I'll stick with that, right? But definitely, I don't know. Do I need to say it? Probably not. I would be open to new perspectives. I would be open to, looking at things from different perspectives. Again, I wouldn't rush right past things. If you get an opportunity with the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Swords that doesn't seem like it's going to work, this could say you just need to look at it from a different perspective. You just need to look at it from upside down, right? And I think that could be very helpful. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, being curious. Page of Swords, card of curiosity. He looks into things. He is like the detective in the tarot. And so I feel for a lot of you, this is saying you need to look into things that kind of like stand out to you or that are trying to capture your attention. And there's really not much else to say there. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Tower. You have the Knight of Swords. I literally said Knight in Shining Armor, and I just said Knight of Cups. Maybe some of you have a Knight in Shining Armor coming in. Usually when that happens, it's like intuitive. So there you go. But with the Knight of Swords, you have the Tower to Judgment. Tower and Judgment, I consider to be the most powerful combination in the tarot. Tower and Judgment is like a major wake-up call or a major revelation. I'm telling you, you definitely have been through like some sort of initiation. It's like you've been through something that is difficult. I almost feel like the reading is saying don't waste it as well. Sometimes I think we go through pain and like right before we're about to get the reward, we quit, right? Or we stop doing something. And I feel like this is saying like don't stop now, or or one of my favorite quotes of all time from Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He says, at the end of pain is success. Very simple quote, but it's so true. And so it's like if you haven't gotten your gold yet from something that you've been through, I feel like this reading is saying like, no, don't quit now. You're about to like receive something for what you've been through. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Sacred Reverence card and this Awakening Genius card. Again, if more of these decks had Genius cards, you would probably be getting them, Gemini. So again, Uranus and Gemini is definitely going to awaken your genius, and I would be paying attention to your ideas, plain and simple. The Sacred Reverence card says, like, what does your heart truly want? And we have the Three of Swords in this row. So with the Three of Swords, we have to forgive the past, not just love, everything. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive the situations we've been through so that we can listen to our heart. And I think that would be important exercise for you right now, and it's Mercury retrograde. Mercury, we can heal faster these things during Mercury retrograde. So, it might be a good time for you to like heal your heart so that you can figure out what your heart really wants with that Sacred Reverence card. That's where the success is going to come from. You have the Queen of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Three of Swords. Again, I feel like some of you, Queen of Swords is reaching out to the Hermit. So the Hermit has been through Dark Night of the Soul. He has been through kind of an initiation in a lot of ways. He's been through Dark Night of the Soul, which is similar, not really the same, but similar. And, it's like you've been through something, and I feel like now you're like at the top of the mountain. You're about to get your reward for the difficulties that you've been through. So it's kind of like it's almost like a fortune after difficulty reading. Really, the Ten of Cups is my card of fortune after difficulty, but, it's kind of the feeling this reading is giving to me. I also feel that there could be a ton of clarity. And again, this retrograde, every few retrogrades, the readings really say to me that that retrograde that we're dealing with is about clarity. And this retrograde right now definitely seems to be one of those retrogrades that, while still confusing, could bring clarity on things that we've already been dealing with. So, again, you could be getting a ton of clarity here with the Queen of Swords. She sees clearly for the first time with, these clouds only halfway up her body. She could also be having some truths revealed to her. And so the thing here is that we have Tower, Judgment, Hermit. I would be careful if you have someone that you haven't heard from in a while who's like coming back into your life, like wanting to tell you the truth or whatever, So like I said, if you have a past person who's coming back, I would be careful of that. You have the Judgment card. I would really be paying attention to those like random ideas that pop into your head, any light bulb moments. Again, Tower and Judgment is a major revelation, so you could be gaining a very deep understanding about your situation in life, and I would pay attention to that, of course. The Judgment card, these people are rising up out of these coffins. The coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. And so they're being called into a new life. And I feel a lot of you are kind of like being called into a new life, or you are being called to step into your new life or something like that. And that's pretty much exactly what I would do here, with these cards, is like step into your new life and quickly. You have the Three of Swords. It's like I really feel like you could be doing like 10 years of healing in like a month, is really what's popping into my head. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's like if there's something that you need to heal, I feel that you could be healing it very quickly. Now, one thing I will say is that we've had Chiron and Aries. I do not like Chiron and Aries personally, and I think it's hard. And that's it. I think it's hard to have Chiron and Aries, and especially if you're going to have to look at your own chart, but Chiron is transiting through Aries. So you're going to have to look at your own transits and see if there's anything that's hitting that Chiron and Aries, and if it is, in your own chart, like in your natal chart or whatever, that could make it a little bit more difficult. What I would say, though, is I think that we could be, healing much faster at this time as well with Chiron and Aries. So again, if there's anything that you want to heal, now would be the time to do it. And again, you're all different. So, if you could heal through meditation, through, doing forgiveness exercises, I don't know, there's like a million things that you could do. But any type of healing that you could do, I would do, because I think you'll heal whatever you need to heal much faster. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Devil. I'm telling you right now, you are seeing the truth for sure. Right here. So I would be careful of any past people, of course, with the Devil. A lot of people have been getting the Devil in this month, and July and August, both the Devil came up quite a bit. So I do think that these are months where we have to pay attention to toxic energy. I also think what we're seeing is like not the truth. And I can't talk too much on YouTube about it, but I would say, like, I definitely don't trust the news, right? I never did, but I, like, extra don't right now. And, this right here, this pentagram, is satanic inversion. The pentagram is upside down. And, it's kind of like, when the lie becomes the truth and the truth becomes the lie, type of energy. And so I think we all need to pay attention to everything right now. That's it. With the Judgment card, and we need to trust our intuition. Our heart and our intuition won't steer us wrong if we really listen. If we take the time to not get distracted, if we take the time to listen to what our intuition is telling us, then we'll be fine. But the High Priestess is the card of unlimited potential, and it's time to reach your full potential now, Gemini. I truly believe that. I think a lot of you really could be waking up with this Judgment card and kind of doing big things in life. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. Like I said, I think you could quickly be healing something or overcoming something very quickly here, Gemini. Pretty simple. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Shapeshifter card. It says Mystique, Transformation, and Power. You have this Air card. It says Movement, Intellect, and Freedom. So I think that you're a Gemini. You are the shapeshifter in some ways. Technically Pisces is the shapeshifter, but again, I think that Geminis can be a little bit of a shapeshifter as well. I think you're transforming just in general, which is a good thing. It's funny you have this air card. You're an air sign, and I think freedom is a key word right now, and I think a lot of you could be attracting more freedom into your life. You have the Hermit, the Empress, and the Nine of Cups. I really feel you've earned something here, Gemini. You have that initiation card. An initiation is meant to be something that is difficult, right? It's like when we think of the word initiation, it's like most initiation, rituals are difficult, right? And we're talking about positive ones here. So, again, I think that a lot of you spiritually have grown quite a bit. He has, the Hermit, right? He's been through a dark night of the soul, and now he's standing at the top of the mountain and he's shining his inner light. Now, I think the trick with the Hermit is he has to come down from the mountain. it's very tempting to stay stuck at the top of the mountain. And the crazy thing is that a bunch of people have been getting the Hermit, and we have the South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces. I might have said this to you before, so I apologize if I have, but people who are born with South Node Virgo and North Node in Pisces, usually like in their past life they were abandoned and they like retreated to the top of the mountain and they never came back to society. They let something hurt them so much that they wanted to punish the world, right? And this is just one way that South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces can manifest in a person astrologically, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, right? Although actually not. But what I would say is I think as a collective right now we have South Node in Virgo and North Node in Pisces transiting. I think we all need to make sure that we are shining our light bright and we are not hiding from the world, right? You have the Empress. I feel pretty good about this. I do feel it's literally talking about abundance. So, whatever you're working on, Gemini, I kind of said this at the beginning of the reading. I really feel that you could be becoming successful very quickly on something that you're working on. And, whatever it is. And, it's like maybe this has taken a long time, but your ideas are very fertile. I think that you could be very fertile. So, again, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. If you are, then go for it. Go to town, right? But other than that, I think you could be having some fertile ideas. And, they're going to start as ideas, but, she, the whole point of the Empress is she can grow this wheat in front of her very quickly. All she has to do is wave that scepter in front of her and that wheat will grow. So there you go. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is like fulfillment or wish fulfillment. So I do feel that. Normally, I like the Nine of Cups. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Nine of Cups is really a card of wish fulfillment. It kind of is, but it's more of a card of alignment. Like, to really, what the card really says is that for him to get a wish, he has to be in alignment with what he wants, and that's why he gets something he's wishing for. But I look at tarot as loose guidance at best. Number one, number two, it's like energy we have to work with. So I always think the Nine of Cups is saying that we have to get into alignment with what we want, and if we do that, we will get what we want, plain and simple. The Nine of Cups is also about like who you give what to. He has these 9 cups behind him. And so those 9 cups behind him, he could be a barkeep, and he has those 9 cups, and he is choosing who to give those cups to. This is like an alternative meaning to the 9 of Cups, and that's popping into my head for you, Gemini, that it's going to be like really important this week. That not only this week actually, I feel like for the next few weeks that you should be paying very close attention, like who you give what to. I think it would be you need to make sure that the people you're giving energy to also return the favor, right? And so that's popping into my head. With the Hermit, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about, following your enthusiasm, which I think would be a good thing, and also getting out into the world. He's also very, joyful and optimistic. I feel just intuitively that this is just an energy that the universe is encouraging you to embrace, like that happy-go-lucky, I think that's a good way to put it. That happy-go-lucky, just joyful energy, almost like more Sagittarius, your opposite sign, right? I think being in that space would be a good idea. With the Empress, you have the 4 Wands. If you want love, this looks very good. I think that there could... Is it really a love reading? No. But I do think that there could be, love coming in for you, or you could be attracting a lot of people into your life if you're looking for love. So, there you go. The 4 Wands is also a card of freedom. And so we have this air card that says freedom on it. And the 4 Wands is about setting yourself free from something. So, a lot of you could be gaining more freedom this week. With the 9 of Cups, you have the Chariot. Chariot is about charging towards a victory, but Chariot is also about alignment, right? He has these stars up here, these moons right here, represents as above, so below. So, this right here could be a very rapid, quick victory, or swift victory that's coming in for you, Gemini. But I feel for you to have this swift victory, you need to be in perfect alignment with it, whatever it is, And, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about this, probably because of you, that, I don't know. It just seems to me like the rest of the year is really encouraging people to pay attention to where their energy is at, and to make sure that their energy is matching exactly what they want. If you want to be healthy, you have to be healthy, right? It's just being the thing that you want to be. And I feel if you could do that things would go very well for you. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this travel card. It says, you're attracting positive movement or travel that will bring your desires to fruition. It is a good time for you, I do feel, to travel. Yes. You have this toxic triggers card. It says, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. Devil, right? And so I think that, but it's coming up in the good stuff, so you probably are already doing this, which is great. That will lead to, improvements, better energy, good things. You have the Two of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. The Two of Wands is about taking the lead and getting out into the world, but it's coming up in the good stuff, so you probably are. Again, I'm a big fan of you kind of like getting out into the world as well, Gemini, doing more things. Like you and your opposite sign, Sag, I think, are like two signs that really need to get out there. I think everybody does, but, if I were a Gemini, I would be doing it extra. And I am a Gemini moon, so I am. So I am doing it extra, just so you know, right? And I've been doing things on purpose that, like, I don't want to do, right? And so, I think getting out into the world will just... There's something about variety and, like, what it can bring to you. So I really don't even have a good answer as to, like, what it is, but I would just do it. You have the Three of Cups. Yeah, it really seems to be a good time for you to socialize as well. So for those of you that are, like, looking just to have fun even, I think socializing would be good. These three people are celebrating a harvest. So, I do really feel there's something about you kind of like becoming successful quickly, or like a swift victory or swift success, in work or business. Again, it probably hasn't been swift. I always like to remind people we're not in a time of quick victories, but you could have a quick victory. And people always say to me, how the hell is that possible? Well, it's like you've probably been learning something for the past 20 freaking years. But if you get started on something right now, it might lead to a quick victory. So really, it's like taking you 20 years, but it's happening quickly, at the same time. I know that is confusing to some of the slow people that sit in the back of the classroom here, but, it is what it is. That's the best way I can describe it. So there you go. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a blessing in disguise. I do feel a lot, especially here with the Devil going this way, that some of you, if you do have a past person coming back from the past, that you could be seeing that it's a blessing that they're not still in your life. You could also be seeing a blessing in, something that you're releasing. So if you're like letting go of something, or, letting go of something toxic or something that's caused problems in your life, obviously this would be a good thing. And it would say that you could be seeing that, letting go of something is a blessing. With the Two of Wands, you have the Star card. The Star is kind of like hope, faith, renewal. I like readings that have the Tower to the Star, because the Star kind of cancels out the Tower. But the Star is also about having a North Star, like having that one thing you work towards and accomplish. But, again, a lot of you see this seems to be an accomplishment reading, where you could be accomplishing things very quickly, which is great. With the Three of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. Again, a victory coming in for you, big win. With the Three of Cups, you could be being celebrated by people. The Six of Wands, he is receiving recognition from the people around him. Three of Cups is like your community. So if you've been, you could be getting some sort of recognition this week, based off of work that you have done. So that could be anything. That could be a raise, a promotion, a pat on the back, some nice words. I don't know. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, probably why you're happy that something didn't work is because there's something new and much better coming in for you. I think there is like a new connection that is coming in for you, love-wise or whatever, that's going to make you much happier, that's going to be much better for you. I don't know, it just looks good to me. I really feel this is new love. Is it coming in this week? No, I don't think so. I think that this is probably something that's going to come in for you like in the near future, but that's fine. It's Mercury retrograde, right? So I definitely feel there could be a new connection, but pretty good stuff here, Gemini. I like it. You have this Harmony card. Like, honestly, what I feel, this is a good card, but like what I feel for you is Empress, right? So what the hell am I talking about again? What I'm talking about is that the Empress is a very good card, but she has this waterfall behind her. The waterfall on the Empress is the water that's flowing behind the Emperor. It's flowing down to her, but, it also kind of represents chaotic force. If you were underneath a waterfall, you would be getting tossed around all over the place, right? So she understands chaos. She does not need her circumstances to be perfect for her to be successful, right? And that is kind of what this card just said to me when I picked it up. And I didn't even get that on the Empress until just right now. So this card was saying to me, it's like if you need things to be in perfect harmony for you to get going or for you to get started on something, not going to work, right? So I think you need to understand that we're in a time of chaos, as I've been saying, until Uranus leaves Gemini 2033 officially. And there you go. You have this Quarrel card. I feel like someone's trying to piss you off this week here, Gemini, so don't let people trigger you. Devil, Queen of Swords, Devil to the Hermit. it's just like popping into my head as like someone who's trying to trigger you to make you look bad. So I would just ignore it, plain and simple. You have this affair card. Yeah, definitely could be new love. For some of you, you might meet this person this week. Like I don't feel that starts a relationship this week, but you definitely could be meeting a person this week. This is like a positive love affair, not a like cheating affair. This is like love. So definitely could be love. You have this resistance card. I always say one of my favorite books of all time, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. No, I'm not talking about The Art of War. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Two totally different books for the book experts out there. So, totally different book by Stephen Pressfield, right? Not Sun Tzu. So, there you go. But in that book, he says, when we are closest to our goal, that's when we experience the most resistance. And so, again, you have this whole initiation thing going on here. I think you need to push through resistance because you are very close. Four Wands, Chariot. Four Wands is a finish line card. Chariot would be charging your ass across the finish line quickly and steamrolling anything that gets in the way. I think that's what people sometimes forget about the Chariot. The Chariot sometimes says we have to be a freaking steamroller. We have to charge right through things. And, that's kind of like what you're doing here, or you need to do. You have this birth card. Yes, I would be careful if you're not trying to get pregnant, but you also clearly, I think most of you are just full of good ideas and that you could be birthing. So this looks really good, Gemini. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.